Hi everybody and welcome back to the Coyote Picture Club. I'm your host, Patrick Mitchell. Here in the Coyote Picture Club, every month we choose an actor and decide their four best or four defining performances for films in which we think best encapsulate their career. This month, we're talking about the great Kevin Costner. Today we're talking about Bull Durham, directed by Ron Shelton and also written by Ron Shelton. And today I'm joined by
Carly.
Veteran catcher Crash Davis is brought to the minor league Durham Bulls to help their up-and-coming pitching prospect, Nuke LaLoosh. Their relationship gets off to a rocky start and is further complicated when baseball groupie Annie Savoy sets her sights on the two men. Carly, what are we drinking today?
Today, I feel like what would have been fitting for this movie would just be like a beer or like a scotch or something, but it's a little too early in the day for me personally. I know you might disagree with that.
Disagree.
So I have a Coca-Cola cherry float. I've never tried this before. Pretty good.
It's really sweet.
It's just like a cherry Coke.
Yeah.
Cherry Coke. I don't know where the float went, but very good. It'll be nice to sip on throughout.
What do you think about Bull Durham?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. I watched Bull Durham for the first time for this podcast, trying to get into Kevin Costner. Seen a couple of his films.
So I was inside the Actor Studio episode.
Yes, I did. I'm a budding fan. But yeah, I liked it a lot. It wasn't what I was expecting. I kind of just thought it was like a baseball movie. Like, I don't know. I like baseball movies, so I don't know why I was so hesitant to watch it, but it was great. It was like such a weird, like, of its time. It's kind of a rom-com. It's also a baseball sports movie, but also like a drama of like what it means to be at the peak of your career but not have the industry appreciate you. So I think it was a very interesting and fun watch. Tim Robbins is super fun in this movie. I think this might be my first Susan Sarandon film.
Probably. You haven't seen Thelma and Louise.
No, I haven't, but she was absolutely stunning. Yeah, I thought it was fun. I thought it was interesting. I think I would watch more sports movies if there was just like this hot lady lurking behind the scenes. I was very interested in like, what is she doing here? But I'm not going to question it. I'm going to just go with it, and it was a lot of fun. I think there's a lot to talk about with what this means for as an introduction to Kevin Costner, even though Untouchables was kind of his first kind of big break. But I think this is a really cool, like, early career film. You're working with some, like, huge names, but you're also, like, it seemed very much like a passion project for him, because he does have 3 baseball movies eventually.
Well, I mean, he talks in the Inside the Actor Studio episode about how different they all are.
Yeah, they totally are.
And I think so much of Kevin Costner's filmography is that he feels like his filmography as an actor explores all facets of, I guess, America and in some ways Western culture. Mm-hmm. It's baseball, their national pastime, and also we love baseball up here. Go Jays.
Yes.
And then, so you've got his 3 baseball movies where it's this, Field of Dreams, which we'll talk about next week, and then For the Love of the Game, which is the one he does with Sam Raimi. Mm-hmm. But also you've got Dances with Wolves, which is him dealing with America's past of slavery and indigenous genocide, and JFK is looking at the modern conspiracy state and people's distrust in institutions, and he feels like he captures every aspect of America from the past to the present, as well as encompassing, because of this, Western culture. It's a very overarching filmography, and I think Costner is extremely smart, and he speaks in this Inside the Actor Studio about these projects of passion, and I think the thing that differentiates it is how adult this movie is.
It is. It is not like a League of Their Own, where
which is a great
movie.
Throw it
off for the kids, you know.
But this is, and Costner's always been this way, and this is really, he has movies before this. He has No Way Out, which is a bit of an erotic thriller with a big twist that I'm not going to spoil. Mm-hmm. He's got The Untouchables, which is very good, but that's very much still a late period Connery vehicle to start, as much as Costner really takes over in the third act of that movie. This is the movie that cements Costner as a major leading man and someone that we have to respect and take seriously. I think part of that is the fact that he's introduced with I'm too old for this shit.
Mm-hmm. That's very fun.
How he comes into acting in his 30s. He's not this, like, 20-year-old young heartthrob coming up.
Yeah, no, he has a degree. He's been working his whole life.
And it's a movie about adults. It's a movie about adult sexuality, but it's also a movie about these adults who are almost floundering a little bit. Mm-hmm. There's something deeply sad to Costner's character in this movie.
Yeah.
As much as it's a great lazy Saturday afternoon movie, it's about a guy who's the best of the minor league. Mm-hmm. A guy whose life and his passion, his training, and everything has led to him being the best guy who doesn't make the cut.
Yeah, it's like, would you rather be the best guy on the worst team or the worst guy on the best team? You know what I mean? It's what does it mean for your life when it's like, oh, I guess like I just kind of need to give up on this big dream?
I guess so, and he doesn't fully give up. I guess towards the end, he goes to pursue a managerial career.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that speech he gives Nuke, where he's like, "If I had one extra hit a week, I become the best baseball player." Mm. And it's that margin of error where he's like, "If I get one like lazy pop up to the outfield a week, one more like dribbler ground ball, I'm in the show. I'm batting 300." Instead of being the home run champion of the minor leagues.
Yeah.
Something which he's not terribly proud of, despite the fact that Sarandon, that is interesting to her.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the difference is she's concerned about the stats of this all and the narrative of this all, where he is the one living it.
Yeah. Well, she also believes that she's a big part of the reason why the guys that she fraternizes with like become the players that they are. Like, she believes that there is a true overlap between sport and passion, and for her that's through sex and physicality, but she it believes in the whole like mental space of it, and it's like what do you want from this, and how can your like personal life inform or fuel what it takes for you to make it to the show.
Yeah, and as people who are kind of floundering and stuck in this small little town that doesn't have a lot going on, a team, and many of these players don't have a future. It reminds me in many ways of Bogdanovich's Last Picture Show, which is just a fantastic movie. It often feels similar in tone and vibe, in the way it approaches the sex between its characters, and the way it approaches how these characters are lost and aren't going on to better things. But also trying to find just a beauty within that, and a beauty in everyday waking up and moving on. There's a great quote by the Sarandon character where it's, "You have to respect a baseball player who's just trying to finish the season."
Yeah.
And I do also think it gets into the mental headspace of its characters in that great at-bat sequence that Costner has about half an hour into the movie, where it's almost one shot up against his face, where it's him thinking through the at-bat, trying to clear his head, things pop up. It almost feels like a bit of a one-man play in a way that's really interesting.
It's like very much like that could be used as like a monologue in an audition. Like
it's
it was
really
it
good.
was a weird, I wasn't expecting that. I thought that was a kind of an out there choice to kind of like actually have us hear what he's thinking through, but I like that. That's like kind of like one of the more intimate scenes. Like, I know there's the final little sequence there with him and Sarandon, but it's very intimate to like get into his headspace. And there is a difference between him and Nuke, because Nuke is speaking out loud what he's thinking. And he's saying, okay, he's like, oh, why does he want me to pitch that? That like you can, and he's very outward about
he's
that.
He's boyish.
Yeah, it shows there is one of the stark differences between them. But no, he keeps to himself. It's like his like piece of advice that he has for Nuke before he goes to the major leagues, where he was just like, it's all about fear and arrogance. So it's like, if you can just keep it together and let all of the panic stay inside, then that's true professionalism. But it is a very intimate scene when we're seeing him, like, he's not hitting how he wants to hit, and it's the most vulnerable I think we see him. I like that sequence.
I mean, we see him vulnerable multiple times. I love that sequence. I think it's so well done. I think it's so interesting. It's weird that sports movies don't do that more. But then there is also something to the way this movie almost sputters off at the end, when Nuke is going to the majors, and we realize the Costner character, is just going to stay around. He's in this dirty pool hall, and he walks the streets at night alone, and he kind of comes like a dog with his tail between his legs to Sarandon's house. There is a vulnerability to that. Costner often has the thing in his movies. His films are often categorized as being like macho men. It is Costner. Yeah. Costner movies are for the dads.
Yeah.
Because I know you have the 3 baseball movies. You have Tin Cup, the golf movie. He does political thrillers. He does westerns. I think we also forget that a large amount of Costner's audience in the late 80s and the 90s were women.
Oh, yeah.
And I think a lot of it is Costner's very similar as an actor to Ernest Hemingway as a writer, which is that Hemingway's often characterized as these macho man movies, or books, I mean. But in reality, all of Hemingway's books are love stories.
Yeah.
And they're very sweet, and they're very sentimental, and they're about the everyday joys of having a drink in the sun, or going to watch sports, or being in nature, or being with a beautiful woman. And Costner also has that, where these are very sentimental movies, these are vulnerable movies, and they're very adult.
Yeah.
This is a movie. It separates itself from other sports movies, and I think it's why it's so rewatchable. And I love other sports movies. We're at the talk about Field of Dreams next week. But because it's just so mature. And it's so adult. It's not the story of this young guy coming up and he deals with some issues and then he learns to hit really well. It's about what happens afterwards.
Yeah, well, there's also, like, a worse version of this movie where Costner is just, like, kind of the comedic relief. Like, where he just kind of comes in and he's really, like, if they casted him, like, 10 years older, or if he had, like, a big beard, like, he very much could be this character where it's like, oh, fuck, what am I doing here again? And I don't want to deal with this stupid kid. Like, but he, like, Costner's very self-aware in this movie. As much as he is a big dreamer, he's very, very aware of his role and how he needs to interact with this kid. And that's not the main crux of the movie where it's like, oh, how are they going to build this relationship? And that's like, because it's not like a mutual dream of theirs. Like, it's not like, oh, we both want Nuke to go to the show.
No, he cares about Nuke as a kid because I think he sees himself in Nuke.
Yeah, totally. Well, he recognizes talent and he can appreciate talent.
But there is also, the movie ends with him being deeply jealous and he doesn't totally overcome this. Nor can he.
No, how could you?
In a weaker movie, the Costner character is like, wow, I'm so happy, I'm so proud, it's always been my dream to bring someone else to the show.
Or there was something in it for him to get Nuke there.
No, there was...
I mean? Like, it's like, oh, if we can get Nuke to the major leagues, then I can coach there, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, no, that was never part of it. Like, it was just like, he's simply, like, he's just, like, at the end of the day, he's just kind of a pawn in the minor leagues, and they move him around where they need him.
There's a lot of talk in the movie about, like, the Church of Baseball, and it does feel like Costner's giving himself over to some higher power, that being baseball and the narrative of the entire sport, to nurture a young kid, and he's getting really nothing out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he gets a moral satisfaction out of it. I don't think he feels any fatherly joy. He deeply feels jealousy at the end of the movie.
Yeah, and I like that. That was very real. It didn't feel like, all right, and like, let's say, like, the moral of the story is like, it's such a joy to just be a part of somebody's success. It's like, no, like, that sucks because they have the same dream, and if it wasn't for him, then he wouldn't have made it to the big leagues, you know?
Yeah.
So it's something very real. What a interesting guy. What an interesting story, and what a really real feeling that you feel kind of at this point, at a point in your life where you feel like you don't know what's next for you, and everyone around you is the same way. So it's like, when I'm graduating university, everybody around me is like looking for the next big thing, and you can be happy for people. Yeah. But it can also, there's a part of it where it's like, but what about me? You know what I mean? And I think that's real, and I think that was like a really cool part of the movie, and that's not even the whole movie. Like, there's so much more in it, and I think Costner did a really good job with that part of the performance. He was very poised, but you can tell that he has this like inner turmoil about like, who am I? What am I meant to do? And what could I have done differently? Like, was this always what was meant for me? Yeah. You know?
I do think we call this a lazy Saturday afternoon movie because it is a movie about people existing. Yeah. It is people just kind of... It feels like, with the exception of Nuke, who is going places, it's about people who are treading water in life.
Like, what is there to hang around here? Like, she literally says, once you leave Durham, you don't come back.
Yeah, it's like a shitty bar, Susan Sarandon's house, these dirty clubhouses... But it is also nice to just exist and tread water with these characters.
Yeah, I would have loved to have been dancing with Nuke that night. You know what I mean?
It's a funny movie.
It is funny.
And it meanders, and it doesn't end with some big climax. They win the championship like some of these movies do. It just kind of ends with two people realizing they kind of need each other. With it, which is the Costner character and the Sarandon character, and just kind of making their way through the season. A lot of people who aren't going to be called up, just trying to get a paycheck, trying to not kill Nuke, and the town around them and how they look to this team as the one thing they've kind of got going on. Yeah.
But it's like a nice environment. Like, it's not like we're like...
There's no huge conflict.
No, but it's not so like is this really like the most interesting season of the Durham Bulls? Like, it's like probably 5 years down the line they find another Nuke, and then maybe it's not about, oh, how do we get more people to these games? Like, it's like, no, like, this team is doing fine. Nobody has to save the team. Nobody has to win the championship. Nobody has to make it to the big leagues. Like, you can very well stay here, stay comfortable. But
they all want to make it to the big leagues.
They want to make it to
it's
the big leagues.
It's that inner turmoil with all, like, there's the great scene where it's between two of the players we don't really see a lot from again.
Yeah.
Where one of them is putting, like, a voodoo curse on his bat, and he's like, yo, please put a voodoo curse on my bat. Like,
yeah, he's like, I need some of that.
I'm 0 for 16, big fat donut. Like, these people who are like, maybe if this season goes well, I can make it to the big leagues.
Yeah.
Maybe if I get really hot for a month.
Yeah.
And I hit 500.
Yeah.
Then I'm in the show.
Yeah. But it's a long season. It's a long season, so you can't show up every single game going, all right, this is going to be my big game, and there's going to be a scout in the park, and they're going to find me. Like, it's like, no, it's a marathon, and it's also like, it's kind of a brotherhood too. So you can't really, like, you can't exist on the team and have everybody hate you because you think that you're better than everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has this, like, appreciation that Nuke is just like, he has a gift. And it's real. And Nuke is he's kind of arrogant, but he is trying to get better, and I think that's why there isn't that sort of, like, civil war going on within the team. Like,
no, but he's boyish. He's so, like...
Yeah, like, it's like everybody remembers when they were once like him, so they can appreciate that. But I think they let him get away with a lot because he is so good at what he does.
I also, I do think within this brotherhood, I think there's a lot of funny moments between the team. Mm-hmm. I like the part when they all go out to the mound and it's... One of them's getting married. Like,
that's a great
part. The manager comes out, he's like, what's going on out here? And he's like, well, Nuke can't throw. We need a live chicken. We need a live chicken to cut its head off so we can uncurse this glove. And we got to figure out what wedding gift we're going to get for...
whatever her name is.
Whatever these this player and the groupie. And he's like... Well, I think cutlery is, like, a really nice gift. He's like, we can look into, like, a registry.
Yeah.
And it's all taken very seriously. Like, it's not, like, there's no, like, slapstick bits.
No.
But I also think to keep going with these people existing, and it's not, like, some huge dramatic arc, is there are two moments of violence in the movie. Mm. There's two times where passions boil up enough that we get a fight. And it's never this big Hollywood fist fight. Both fights are ended in a single punch. Mm. It is anticlimactic even in the action.
Yeah.
In terms of sports excellence, Nuke being so good means he leaves the movie. Mm-hmm. And Costner hits his the home run to make him lead the minors in home runs ever.
But it didn't even make news history.
It doesn't make sporting news. Mm-hmm. No one but Sarandon realizes something big just happened.
Yeah.
And it happens on a different team than the Durham Bulls.
Yeah.
He's, like, on some team called the Tourists. I mean, that is kind of what he is. He is just kind of a tourist moving through all these small towns in America.
Yeah, whoever will pay him.
And he's just trying to finish the season. But there is something that a lot of these players look at him as a deity. Because he's been to the show. Like, when he's like,
I've been 21 days or something.
I've been to the show for 21 days. And, nobody carries your luggage. And the girls have legs and brains. And it's... They're like, oh my god, like, imagine. Like, they all kind of, like, look over him. The way the shot is framed with he's in the sea and the sun's coming from the window and they're all surrounding him. Like, oh, tell us more. It is so well done. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's a very nice movie.
Yeah, it's nice. I wish something I did think about is I wish we got a little bit more from the rest of the team. Like, I like the characters. I think they had a fun group of characters where it's like this one guy who's into voodoo, and then the one married guy, and the one, like, I don't know. I feel like we could have gotten more of a brotherhood. That's something I wish we got more of. Mm-hmm. Like, I know that, like, Nuke and Crash are the leads of it, and but the thing is that nobody was ever going to compete with that. Like, we care about their story the most. So it's like, I think it would have been more fun to have more of those, like, bar scenes or when they all come in at the mounds. Like, I think that would have been more fun. Even because we got to know the coaches a little bit. Like, they're always spitting in. He throws all the baseball bats onto the shower floor. I think that's something I wish I got more of from the film. Like, I wish I knew the cast of characters a little bit more, like in A League of Their Own or in Moneyball. Like,
I mean, Moneyball's probably my favorite baseball movie, but my favorite baseball team movie, one that is very similar to this in vibe, another movie with people just kind of existing and treading water, except they're much more hopeful because they're looking into the future, and I think the whole team is very well defined, is Richard Linklater's Everybody Wants Some, which is a phenomenal movie, a movie I love so much, and it does a great job of capturing the team.
Yeah, it could have been more of an ensemble.
It would have been nice. The movie, like, maybe even had like extra 5 minutes, an extra like 3 scenes of just like players interacting outside of our sort of love triangle.
Yeah.
But I do think those 3 characters in the middle, Crash, Nuke, and Annie, are all incredibly well defined, both in themselves and the relationships to each other.
Yeah.
That if I wouldn't want to take away any of their stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think it would have taken away. I think it would have just
we just add stuff.
Yeah,
you know what
totally.
I mean?
Yeah. I think we should talk about Annie. I think we should talk about her character. Because I think we were like 10 minutes in and I was like, okay, wait, what is she doing here? Like, why is she always at the, like, because she was hanging out with, like, the owner or whatever at the bar, and, like, but she's not related to them because it's her blonde. The blonde is the, like, she's, like, a daughter of a big sponsor, so that's why she's always hanging around, because they physically cannot kick her out, and she loves the boys. But, like, what does Annie do? Like, this is, like, I understand she's, like, a part-time professor, but, like, she has a nice house to herself.
I think she's involved with the team in some way as some sort of coach.
Yeah, but like, you're like, she's on salary. I'm like, she just like, they're like freak on salary. Like, she's just like the senior freak.
It's a movie role.
Yeah.
But can I be honest? A lot of rom-coms, the woman has some crazy job.
Yeah, but even then, yeah, I guess so.
We just watched like, Green Card, where her job is like, what do you do?
Horticulturalist.
Like, yeah, a horticulturalist.
But that's a real job.
How many of those in New York are there? How many people have a greenhouse in their apartment in New York?
Yeah.
On a horticulturist salary?
I don't know. But then, like, yeah, it's always like, yeah, I'm a journalist for a column about female pleasure. And I
that's Sex in the City.
No, and that's also How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Like, it's just like...
This movie's ultimately Sex in the City in, like, a small town.
But, like, even, like, what if she was, like, the trainer or the marketer? Like, she just, like, literally hangs around and has sex with all the team members, but...
No, she only has sex with 1 per season.
I know, but you're telling
she
me
writes
hasn't
notes.
hit most of them.
She writes notes being like, "Don't throw your back out."
Yeah, and it's like, how is she like so knowledgeable about baseball? I guess she like prays at the altar of it, but like, I would have liked to see her like play. I don't know, like she's at the batting cage. I'm just like, what is her job? Why do they have her? Like, I guess she's just like a good hang.
It's a real movie star performance.
Yeah,
she's got a lot of charisma.
Yeah, no, she's good. I don't know.
She has a screen presence.
She does. She's very, very weird. She's a very weird person. But I do, for some reason, even though they don't actually have that much time together, and she does spend majority of the movie with Nuke, they have a lot of good chemistry. Like, they truly...
All 3 of them have great chemistry with the other 2.
Yeah, truly. Like, yeah, honestly, at a certain point, I was like, Crash and Nuke are gonna kiss.
I don't know, that guy probably hasn't had action a little bit. Like, he just kind of... That's the thing. There is something about Costner in this movie where he does feel a bit cowboyish. So many Western movies are about a stranger comes to town. And in this movie, it's 2 strangers. It's Crash and it's Nuke in the way they interact with each other in the town. But there is something to... Costner and Nuke are both, in the way it is with sports and the way it is with teams and moving around and moving different places, they're just kind of drifting from place to place.
Yeah.
It's like the only thing Costner has to his name is a duffel bag, his bats, and his batting record. And so his experience in the sport and him not being able to make it to the majors is especially kind of sad because that's what he has. That's what he's dedicated his life to.
Yeah.
But it is a character, it doesn't end in such a sad way. It ends a bit melancholic where he does find a love. It's he finds someone else who's a bit of a drifter in the Annie character.
Yeah, true.
And they have a very mature adult relationship beginning to form. And there is something that as the credits begin to roll and they're dancing to some record.
Yeah.
There's something very sweet about that.
I like that. And they're so different, but they kind of complete each other because sometimes he can just be so rational and so cut and dry about things, and she can make him laugh and she can tell him about the mystery of things and what she finds interesting. And I love when he's like, I don't want to hear about all this. I will absolutely listen to every single one of your last
he's
theories.
Such a straight shooter, and she's like, I think we need to tap into a cosmic sphere in order to hit the baseball.
She's a crystal girl.
Annie
Annie would love crystals and horoscopes. Like,
modern Bull Durham. The new character has to carry around crystals in his pockets.
Oh yeah. Like a little like pouch of like, and this one will keep you protected, and this one's your mind's eye, and like I would.
Well, she does do the mind's eye thing where she's like, don't look when you pitch. Like, you gotta have a third eye in the back of your head.
Yeah, oh, she's so crazy. And I love that, like, she's so secretly like that because she dresses, like, super modern and she's super, like, put together. She's not, like, this hippy-dippy, like, the long hair and, like, no, she's just so interesting. And I can see why she's such a drifter because she's, like, she's so sure of herself, which is nice. Like, as much as she's kind of, like, she's a very sexualized character and everybody wants her and that's why she gets to hang around because she's, like, hot and she loves baseball. Like, she kind of,
that's
like...
a Susan Sarandon movie, though.
Yeah, but she's also, like, she was never, like... woe is me, or why, like, as much as she does, like,
she has agency.
Unless she's less so, like, why doesn't he like me? And she's more like, I've literally never been turned down by a guy before. Like, what the hell? And she's fine about it. And she can go, all right, I'll hang around with Nuke then. And then it works out.
I think that character has a lot of agency, though.
Yeah,
she's
totally.
the primary pursuer. And I think it's very rare that in these types of movies, it's the woman who pursues the romantic relationship.
We do need to talk about the sequence when he finally comes over. And they literally just do it everywhere. And
over the course of one night.
It was amazing, honestly. And it honestly, though, like, a little bit, as much as it was, like, hot, but also I was like, they're going to have to clean up that milk. And
they did spill, like, a lot of food when they did on the table. The milk
is going to be crusted on that, like, floor for a while. And I just, like, and I'm like, there's an animal living in this house, too. Like, that animal could get into, like... The
cat.
Yeah, I was really worried about him, honestly. But no, that was a great scene. That makes sense why the women were big fans of Kevin.
What do you think of his monologue? Really, he starts the monologue as a good actor
iconic.
And ends the monologue as one of the biggest movie stars.
Oh my god. Yeah, that type of monologue has no place in a sports movie.
And I think on paper, it almost seems that, like, what is that? It's like his manifesto, him declaring he's, like, a straight shooter.
Yeah.
And...
here's what I believe in.
Yeah. Sure is something. I always laugh when he says, I believe Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone, considering...
Then he goes on
to do JFK.
Prove that that's
the
not
ultimate
true.
movie about Lee Harvey Oswald not acting alone.
Oh my god, that's so iconic. Yeah, no, that's a great scene. I think that's so good.
Even him doing the soft, wet kisses that last 3 days. It's such a kind of nonsense line, but it's like the ultimate testament to the movie star that he pulls it off.
Yeah, because it's like he's a complicated and honestly a very contradictory character because as much as he's a straight shooter and he knows how to get things done and he's very rational, he's also a deep romantic and he believes in the mysteries of love. Like, he's like, there's no science in love. Like, it's like it's all. Well,
Nuke's just trying to fuck. There is the quote about Nuke where Annie asks, like, a girl he sleeps with, like, how's he fuck? It's like, oh, like how he pitches all over the place.
Yeah. Oh my god. That's a great character introduction too. I know this is a little off topic, but like when we see his butt and we turn around and it's fucking Tim Robbins.
I thought you were going to talk about Sarandon because she's like, oh, I got lured. She's like, women do not get lured. You cannot say you got lured. Line. You seduced them.
Yeah.
And that's the introduction of the Sarandon character outside of the opening monologue.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Once again, showing her agency.
Yeah, and she dominates in the bedroom. She
ties Nuke up.
And then just, like, reads to him. It's like, oh my god, I love that. That's
Bull
so
Durham.
fierce.
This is really the start of, and I think, kind of what this Costner Mount Rushmore is. I mean, we're not doing Waterworld or Open Range or even Horizon Part 1 where...
Or Untouchables.
Sometimes... I mean, I think I chose this under more than Untouchables because I think this kind of cements him as a movie star.
Mm-hmm.
And
monologue.
And I think Untouchables is a little more of Connery's movie.
Mm-hmm.
Also, De Niro's in that as Al Capone, and he thinks of that movie a lot, whereas Costner's very much the straight man.
Right.
Whereas in this feels more definitive to Costner, but this is really the start of one of the hottest runs in movie history as an actor, where there's like a 5-year period where Costner can do no wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, he wins Best Picture and Best Director and Best Actor for...
He doesn't win Best Actor.
He doesn't win Best Actor in 90?
No.
He wins Best Picture and Best Director for Dances with Wolves, as well as starring in it, and that's such his movie.
Yeah.
As well as... Then he goes on to this JFK, there's A Perfect World, there's The Bodyguard. It's like, it is one heat check after another.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is it's a hard actor to pick the top 4 for.
Where he just cannot miss.
Yeah.
And eventually you get to the point where Costner's almost grown too big In movies like Waterworld, you get The Postman, where it ends with him having this like Jesus-like statue of himself that's so parodied, and stuff like Horizon Part 1, which is just like a bloated mess. In an interesting way, but it is messy.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll never see Horizon Part 2. Apparently it's done. I know people have seen it.
Once Michael 2 comes out, then they'll probably drop Horizon Part 2.
Well, Horizon 2 is done. But it just hasn't been released because Part 1 bombed, and then he doesn't have the money to do 3 or 4 because like he remortgaged his house and sold his property.
In a lot of his
like
own
I
money.
think he's close to bankruptcy right now. But it's kind of the thing where it's like Kevin Costner puts it all out there for the art.
Yeah, he does.
And I just think he gets a little unfairly stereotyped as he's the dad actor.
Well, there's also probably, I think, and I was talking about my hesitancy towards this movie, and I think that's probably why. I think I kind of fell into, like, what he's been stereotyped around and what his, like, public persona is. I was just like, is this just going to be him, like, brooding around, being, like, a tough guy?
Well, because right now he's in a bit of, like, an elder statesman mode. He's got this, like, mustache going on.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we haven't talked about Yellowstone, but
I haven't seen Yellowstone.
I'm going to watch Yellowstone kind of this month. I'm trying to watch the first season so I can talk about it on, like, the Dance with Wolves episode.
Yeah, hey, that'd be good.
But he's a bit of an elder statesman now. He shows up at con where he only flew the actresses out, like, and it's him with like 10 women
too. Like he doesn't. He's been divorced twice. Like he's just kind of like Costner is standing on his own and doing what he wants to do.
But you look at this run of movies and they're all so interesting and they're all so good.
And he's so amazing to watch. Like his presence, and this is my third. That
so
was like
handsome.
The third Costner movie I've seen, and every time I'm like, this guy, I could just watch him for hours. Like, he just, like, he commands the screen.
He's a real movie star.
Yeah, totally. But, like, I feel like he's not talked about as much.
That's part of what I wanted this series for. I was
going to ask you, like, why did you want to do
I want to convert some people to the camp of Costner. I've been thinking a lot about Kevin Costner these last couple months. And I wanted to do the deep dive on him, and I'm going to be watching additional movies for this Mount Rushmore throughout the month. This is kind of like my study of Costner. But fuck, I just love him.
Yeah.
I think his movies are also interesting. That opening part where I was kind of talking about how they encompass every part of Western culture, and specifically America, looking at the past, the present, the future. It is constantly these audacious swings.
Yeah.
That we're talking about the ones that work, but we'll mention the ones that don't. And I think he's unfairly stereotyped as this macho man, when really these movies are very sweet and very sentimental, and they have real hope in them, and they're romantic. And he's just, in terms of these major movie stars post 1980, he just feels undiscussed.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I want to convert some people to the camp of Costner.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of people know him from Yellowstone, which is obviously like a huge hit TV show. But a lot of people aren't going back and watching these movies. This isn't a movie that people our age are talking about a lot.
Yeah, I don't actually think I would ever watch Dances with Wolves without this series.
Well, people hopefully will. And I'm out here rooting for Costner. One of our best.
Totally.
So excited to do this series. This is a bit of a blank checky series for me. Because there are a couple guys that, like, I want to do series on that I don't know how much our general audience is interested in them, but my hope is that if we do the series, people will be. And Costner, it feels like the most accessible of those guys.
Yeah, totally.
Like, one of these days I'll get to do my Warren Beatty series, but another guy who's very similar to Costner as in a lot of great classic movies, but every movie is like this big audacious swing.
Right. Well, I don't know if every single one of Kevin Costner's movies are big swings.
A lot of them are.
But, like, I don't know. Field of Dreams seems like a pretty, like,
well, we're talking about the two movies that cement him as a movie star.
Yeah.
Dances with Wolves, there aren't many bigger swings in Hollywood history than that.
Yeah.
And it really pays off.
Is The Bodyguard that big of a swing? Like,
no.
That's a bit of a
would you say, what about JFK?
I guess
massive
not.
Swing, massive auteur project, Waterworld, Open Range, The Postman. Later we get Horizon. Even A Perfect World, where I'm pretty sure he like kidnaps a kid in that one. Is a bit of a like, I don't know. He's a brave movie star.
I like it.
So hopefully we convert some people to the camp of Costner here. Do you want to do your trivia?
Yeah, sure. All right, we're back with trivia. This trivia series is called Kevin Costner.
Great.
Good? You like it? Okay, cool. All right.
There's been some sweaty ones in the past.
Do You Marno?
Do You Marno was rough.
Do You Understand Ler?
That one was fun.
That was all right.
Do You Pacino?
Do You Pacino is the best.
That's pretty
because
good.
it's in the name.
Anyways, I like Costner. This is
Kevin
good.
Costner. All right. Which actor was originally offered the role of Jim Garrison in JFK before Kevin Costner was cast? Do you want options?
Yeah.
A. Bruce Willis. B. Harrison Ford. C. Ewan McGregor. D. Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon's in the movie. I want to go Ford. Is it Ford?
Yeah.
It feels like something Ford would have done.
Yeah.
During this period when he's starting to branch out into being a more mature actor, like it's like he has his two... He's kind of the template for the modern movie star in the way where he has these two big franchises, Star Wars and Indiana Jones. But also he starts doing these movies like Witness and Mosquito Coast with Peter Weir. Stuff like he's doing the Jack Ryan movies, he's doing Air Force One. Doing a political thriller make a lot of sense. He also would be great in the Tommy Lee Jones role.
Yeah.
I think he would have done a good job.
A similar look. I was trying to come up with other like fake options, and I was like, oh, it's kind of hard because like it seems like kind of the best option.
Mm-hmm.
All right, true or false? Costner was once a bus driver for tours to stars' Hollywood homes.
That sounds true.
That is true. Apparently, he also worked at like a safari. I don't know.
I knew he had a lot of odd jobs
He had a
before.
couple
He talks
odd
on the
jobs.
Inside the Actor Studio thing where he's like, "I'm just a worker. Like
He's a worker
This is
a laborer.
Yeah, he's like, this is a job for me. Like I can go back to like carpentry or something if this ever falls apart."
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You might have to.
After Horizon Part 1
Yeah.
and 2.
All right. Costner is one of how many actors to win the Best Director Oscar while starring in the film themselves? So how many other total, including Kevin Costner?
The one that I can think of immediately is Reds.
Reds like Beatty?
Yeah.
So there's been...
Reds. One of the Woody Allens. I'm gonna say one more, 3.
There's a total of 6.
Really? Can you read
Let
them?
me look it up. Okay, so it's Beatty, Costner, Clint Eastwood.
Oh, I should have fucking thought of
Yeah.
Eastwood. We were talking about him earlier.
Mel Gibson,
Braveheart, yeah.
and Ben Affleck.
Oh,
But you-
yeah.
So you had like Woody Allen, Beatty, Costner. But you missed Eastwood, Gibson, and Affleck.
I should not have missed Eastwood.
I know. It's okay.
I was trying to go quick.
What is the name of Kevin Costner's country rock band? Kevin Costner and the Silver Spurs, Kevin Costner and Modern West, Prairie Wind, The Open Range.
The Open Range.
No, Kevin Costner and Modern West, which low-key, kind of the worst one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a couple albums. Have you listened to the Kevin Costner discography?
No.
You should.
Okay, I might actually go through and listen to one of those albums so I can bring it up on the next episode.
Do it. All right, how many Golden Globes has Costner earned for Yellowstone?
2.
1. How much of his own money did Costner invest in Horizon Part 1? I have options for you.
Sure.
A, 27 million, B, 100 million, C, 38 million, D, 41 million.
41.
38. Isn't that crazy?
It is nuts. That's got to be his fortune.
That's wild. All right. True or false? Costner refused the use of a stunt double for Bull Durham.
Yes.
False. There are some stunt doubles. He did a lot of his own stunts in a lot of the playing, but he did have a stunt double. All right. Ron Shelton was keen on casting Anthony Michael Hall to play Nuke in Bull Durham.
Okay.
Why didn't he get the part? A, conflicting shooting schedules. B, Hall's agent advised him not to take the role. C, Costner didn't agree that he was right for the role. And D, Hall showed up late to the meeting with Shelton and hadn't read the script.
D.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently, like, Shelton, like, walked out of the meeting.
Really?
Well, first he showed up, like, half an hour late, and then on their second meeting, he revealed he'd only read half the script. So he didn't get it. It's not fucked. All right, which Friends actress was Costner allegedly in a brief relationship with?
Courtney Cox.
Yeah, correct. And last but not least, name 2 of the 4 directors Costner beat in 1991 when he won Best Director for Dances with Wolves.
Scorsese. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing about Dances with Wolves. I don't know. Dances with Wolves was one of my grandfather's. It was one of his 3 favorite movies, like, ever. Yeah. And I always thought it was funny that, like, he loved Dances with Wolves. And it's like, it's not even the movie that should have won Best Picture that year.
No.
Love Kevin Costner, but Goodfellas is the best movie of all time. Mm-hmm. What else came out in 1990? 1990. Do I know? I would know all 3 of these names, right?
There's 4 names. You have to name 2 of the 4.
Is one of them Woody Allen?
Know 2. No, not Woody Allen.
Would Eastwood have something in 90?
No.
I've said Scorsese. I'm trying to think of movie brats that would still be hanging around. Is it a movie brat?
I don't know what that means. What's a movie brat?
Like, in the new Hollywood, they're kind of the early people who are like, I don't know, the drug abusers and the alcoholics and the revolutionaries.
I've never heard of two of these names,
which
but
are
I've
like,
heard of two.
But there's the original New Hollywood where it's like guys like Hopper and Rafelson and Schlesinger and Penn and Peckinpah and Altman. And then there's the movie brats who are the New Hollywood people who came into movies obsessed with the idea of movies. Those are your guys like Scorsese, Spielberg, De Palma. Bogdanovich comes in the early ones, but he's also sort of a movie brat because Bogdanovich feels like OG Tarantino, where it's like his movies are made up of collages of other movies in a way. That obsession with the form, people who grew up with it. Okay, who are the other three? Can you give me the movies?
I'll give you the movies. Reversal of Fortune, The Grifters, The Godfather Part 3.
Oh, it's Coppola. It's Coppola. That is a movie brat.
It was Stephen Frears and Barbette Schroeder.
Don't know those other two.
I don't know those either. That's why I said.
I should remember Godfather Part 3.
I would have no idea that he was nominated for Part 3. That's crazy. 4. You got 4 out of 10. Not bad. This is actually fun for me to find the trivia questions for this one because I actually don't know anything about him. And I feel like a lot of our guests won't actually know a lot of the career stuff.
Well, it's Camp of Costner. We're getting some people involved.
Yeah, by the end they will.
By the end, everybody's gonna be talking about Costner.
I hate the title of this movie. I think Bull Durham is such a strange way to name this movie. I guess it's kind of catchy, but I thought it was Bill Durham. I thought it was somebody's name. I thought his name was Bill Durham, but it's Bull Durham. But it's it's the Durham Bull, so it's naming a movie Jay Toronto, which would be very strange. And I don't get it. But what would
Jay Toronto, Jay McCarroll.
What are that's just his nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, what are alternative names for this? It would just be Love, Sex, and Baseball.
Crash and Nuke.
I like that.
But Crash and Nuke, that's a movie where only maybe one woman goes to see Crash and Nuke.
Yeah, true. That is true. But Bull Durham, I wouldn't think as a woman that's meant for me. Because I thought it was about Bill Durham.
This movie fucking rules.
Pardon?
This movie fucking rules.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I suggest it. I think it's a really fun watch. So spend the $5 and rent it.
Camp of Costner, Rise Up. You don't just need to see the 4 we're covering. Mm-hmm. Watch a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Go watch Horizon Part 1.
Sure.
Go watch it.
We're going to do
a
giveaway.
Good.
We're going to do a giveaway for those who watch Horizon Part 1.
It's not good, but you should go see that. Because if you're interested in vanity passion projects, boy, do we have a movie for you.
Oh, God.
What do you want to shout
out? Shout out to SNL for not making Olivia Rodrigo look that horrible.
No, she was rough.
But genuinely,
I love Olivia
SNL
Rodrigo,
really saved them. And shout out to Cam Patterson. He was a real highlight of that episode.
He just keeps getting better.
Yeah, the Alex's Weekend Update sketch was really good as well.
Cam Patterson's one of those guys that I bought stock at the beginning of the season because I knew his Kill Tony stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see he's getting the laughs.
Yeah, no,
because whenever he comes on, I'm like, oh, there we go. He's good to see him because I like Cam Patterson a lot.
Yeah, shout out the newcomers on SNL. They're really killing it this season. I like it.
Yeah, there's been some good ones.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all from me. Anything for you to shout out?
No. Just, you know what? Shout out Horizon Part 1.
Yeah.
Let's get Costner his house back. Let's do it, everybody. Let's get Costner his house back.
Starting a GoFundMe for Kevin Costner.
Get him his ranch. Get him his horses. The banks are taking him away from Kevin Costner. The Camp of Costner needs to rise up. Get them to release Horizon Part 2.
Yeah. On Netflix.
No, it's coming to theaters. He needs it to be seen in a theater. Anyway, thank you for tuning in to the Coyote Picture Club. If you're on Spotify or Apple Music, follow this. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, I don't know.
We'll see you next week for Field of Dreams.
We need the engagement.
Totally.
See you next week for Field of Dreams, in which we kind of have 4 guests in the air. One of them will come on.
Yeah, may the best win.
We're going
to make them play a game of baseball.
We're going to have people fist fighting in the parking lot for who gets to do Field of Dreams, and that's how it will be. So whoever you see is the one who won that fist fight.
Yeah,
so know they're our strongest guest.
Yeah, absolutely. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Have a great week.